you need to do this. This is very urgent. Urgent to who? Urgent to who? Hello, good people. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Chelsea Samuel, a faith-based content creator. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. Let's get into it. Knowing what comes first is so important. You can do so many things and still not be productive. You look at your neighbor and you see that what he's doing is bringing results. He's doing great. And you think, maybe I should also do it. And you put aside the project that you have been working on that is also important because you are looking at your neighbor. So you want to do so many things. In 2025, make sure you know what comes first. I'm not saying you shouldn't be creative, you shouldn't try to be out of your bubble. Yes, people can inspire us. We can look at others and see like, the way I'm doing it, maybe I should do like this, maybe bad. And you look at your neighbor, you see like he's doing fashion or he's doing something else. And you're like, oh, let's put aside faith and do fashion. You can also do fashion, but what is important to you? We can have so many goals, but you gotta make sure that you know what comes first. What is the first goal that you need to accomplish in 2025? You gotta know what comes first. Urgent things don't necessarily mean important, okay? Sometimes people come to us and say, oh no, you need to do this. This is very urgent. Urgent to who? You need to ask yourself, urgent to who? The first thing you need to ask yourself, is it something that can be done only by me? This question is so important. If it's not, delegate. Or maybe like you're working a project and something comes up, ask yourself, okay, I'm working on this. This is very important. This thing just came up. It's something that can be done only by me or I can delegate. Always ask that. The enemy can use urgent things to make us distracted. So be vigilant. Do not be distracted. Don't mix up things. Otherwise, you're going to get confused or overwhelmed. When you do so many things, at the end of the day, you may not achieve the result that you are looking for or that you expect. When you work in so many things, you may lose your focus. It is so easy to get distracted when we are doing so many things at the ssame time. It is so easy. You are working on your finances. You want to become a YouTube channel. Focus on one thing and make sure you succeed and excel. If you can work on 2 or 3, I do not advise you to work on so many things because at the end of the day you may not see the result you expect and you can get frustrated. Victimization is not only bad for you but for others, for the people that are around you. Usually people who victimize themselves, they are not looking for solution. They just want to murmur, they just want to complain, and can be boring and uncomfortable. They just want to talk about their problems. They want people to feel pity. Everything is against them. They can't do nothing because of their circumstances and background. There is no accountability. It is a dry land. There is no growth. Guys, you cannot grow. When you put yourself in the situation, you will not grow. However, it's a very comfortable place to be because you ignore the fact that you don't have a role to play. You don't have responsibilities. It's just about what people do to you, not what you do with your own life. The first step to change this scenario, focus on the present. If you want to change, you don't want to be that person anymore. You don't want to victimize yourself. You don't want to be the victim. Stop remind yourself about things that went wrong with you. Okay? There is this man in John chapter 5, verse 5 to 8. When Jesus came to him and asked him, do you want to be healed? He said, the man told Jesus he cannot get into the pool quickly enough to be healed. But Jesus asked him, do you want? Do you want to change in 2025? Then stop victimizing yourself. Stop remind yourself about the people who didn't help you, about your mother who didn't help you, your friend who didn't help you. Stop. Do you want to change? But there is a woman in the Bible who was healed by Jesus after suffering from a bleeding condition for 12 years. This woman was considered unclean by Jews' law. She spent all her money on doctors. This same woman, she said, I just need to touch the edge of his cloak and I'll be healed. She believed in Jesus' ability to heal. She saw an opportunity. When the opportunity comes, what do? Do you complain about your life? Do you complain about your background? Do you complain about your friends? About your health? What do you do? In this year, when the opportunity comes, make sure you grab with your 2 hands. So here we see 2 different people. Which one of them are you? Which one of them you want to be? Victimizing yourself will not make things better. And if you're not careful, you ended up being bitter. Because have you seen a person that is always victimizing themselves happy? Have you seen a person that is always victimizing themselves that is not jealous? That is not like, people who usually victimize themselves, they are jealous, they are bitter, they become bitter. When they see other success, they always try to downplay. They be like, but yeah, it's nothing. This is her father's money. Be careful. This is not a good habit. You will never find a solution in this place. Focus on the present. Forget about the past. The good is the enemy of the best. In my journey of being consistent, one thing I learned, you won't be able to give your best all the time. You won't be able to give your 100% all the time. There are days you're going to give 20. There are days you're going to give 10. There are days you're going to give 2. And that's okay. Relax. That's okay. Because you are building, right? If you are building like muscle, not every day you're going to be able to make the same effort. You're going to be able to give your 100. You give your best, not every day. And someone tells you otherwise, it's a trap. Run. It's not true. I'm not telling you to settle for less. I'm not telling you to be mediocre. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying to do things anyhow. What I'm saying is, if you are building something, it's about showing up every single day. That project that you are working on, sometimes you just need to make sure you submit the project. Sometimes you just need to make sure you come, you switch on your camera and you start making video. You go to the gym and exercise only for 30 minutes instead of 1 hour. You gotta show up. You just need to show up every day, regardless of what you're feeling. The consistency muscle will become stronger and stronger and stronger. And you're also gonna be better, because there is no way in this journey you always showing up and not become better unless you settle for less. What I'm saying here, it's not for you to settle for less. What I'm saying is show up. Just show up. Just do it. Even when you know that your best right now is 10%. Even when you know that your best right now is 20%. Just show up. Even when you know that right now your best is 2%. That's okay. Just show up. If I'm not doing my best, I'd rather not do it. When people say you should give your best, one thing that you need to understand, yes, do what you can, do your best. But this is relative, because maybe my best on Monday is 100% and my best on Wednesday it's 10. Do not allow to be led by your emotions. I'm not saying that, oh, if you don't feel like doing, don't do it. It is impossible to give 100% all the time. Especially when you're trying to be more consistent. This is a lie. You won't give your best all the time. When I finally understood that, it was a relief for me. For example, when I'm studying or when I'm doing my devotional, there are days that I can go like for 2 hours, 3 hours, some days 1 hour, 40 minutes. To understand, this is why someone once said, if you pray, it's better 5 minutes every single day. You're being consistent every single day. Then you pray for 1 hour twice in a week, once in a month. This applies to everything. The fourth one, meet people. I'm trying to do this because I'm not a shy person. I don't consider myself a shy person, but if I don't know you, I tend to close myself up. I tend to not talk much. I don't know if I'm really introverted, because when I'm with my friends, I'm a different person. Or for example, if I get to know you more or we spend more time, I'm a different person. But if I don't know you, I tend to close myself up. But I'm trying to change this. So my advice is meet people, go out, put yourself out there. I know it's not easy to start a conversation with strangers, with people that you don't know. I know it's not easy. As I said, I'm that type of person. Like, if I don't know you, I don't know what I'm gonna talk. I don't know what to talk. But I'm trying to be out of my comfort zone. You don't need to have a lot of money. I know sometimes money can be an issue, but I believe that you don't need to have a lot of money. I believe in destiny helpers. There are people out there who have something that is for us, that belong to us. There are people out there who have things that you need, and you also have things that people need. So make sure you go out to meet new people, and make sure these people that you are meeting, they kind of align with the kind of life you want, align with your goals, align with your purpose. Don't just meet any people. I believe in destiny helpers. The fifth, who are you? This one was actually the first one, but I decided to change to order. Who are you? Who are you? If you don't know who you are, anyone can just come and tell who you are. If you don't know who you are, your friends will tell you who you are. Society will tell you who you are. School will tell you who you are. Situation and circumstances will shape you and will dictate who you are. So who are you? You gotta know who you are. When you know who you are, you will understand your purpose. When you understand your purpose, you know who you are. So they are attached to each other. You gotta know who you are. Your identity is hidden in Christ. As you relate to him, he will reveal to you. When you don't know who you are like chameleon, changing colors. When you are with your family, you are something. With your friends, another person. Even among friends, you can even change color. Sometimes you are this, sometimes you are that, and people might get confused. Think that you are a fake person. When you don't know who you are in danger. It's easy to be manipulated. John the Baptist. I like this guy. I like this man. When the Pharisees asked him, are you a prophet? Who are you? Who do you think you are? When the Pharisees were bothering him because they wanted to know who John was, he said, I am a voice crying in the desert. Who are you? I am a voice crying out in the desert. He knew who he was. And he also knew his mission. In John 1:23, make straight the way of the Lord, just as the prophet Isaiah said. It was written about him. Our purpose, our mission, our identity is hidden in Christ, is hidden in God. God reveals to you your mission. And his purpose was aligned to his identity. A voice crying out in the desert. Make mission. Make straight the way of the Lord. A crying voice, identity. It's what he was. Make straight the way of the Lord. Mission, purpose. If you don't know who you are, you don't know your purpose. But you can know who you are through your purpose. This is another topic. When Jesus starts his ministry, some disciples of John saw Jesus baptizing. So they went straight to John and said, this man Jesus is baptizing people. Because they knew that John used to baptize people. They went to explain to John that somebody else is also doing the same job, the same work he was doing. And we are all going there. There are versions that will say he's competing with us. He's baptizing too. And everyone is going to him instead of us. But John knew who he was. I'm not the Christ, but I've been sent before him. This is King James. A man cannot receive nothing unless it has been given to him from heaven. There is no space for jealousy when you know yourself. If you know who you are, you won't be jealous if somebody is also doing the same thing you are doing. You won't be jealous if that person is succeeding, is doing great in their business or mission, career, because you know yourself. Jesus is also a great example. He knew exactly who he was. This is why when Pharisees were asking for signs, he was like, there is no sign here. This generation wants a sign? There's no sign. He was not trying to prove to anyone who he was. When he was tempted, if you are a son of God, do this, do that. Jesus could have transformed the stone to a bread, but there is no need for that. When you know yourself, you don't feel like proving anything. You don't have to prove anything. When you know yourself, you don't sell your integrity over success, over money. You don't do that because you know yourself. You don't need to show off. I'm the son of God. I can do this, I can do that. No, there is nothing to prove. You know who you are, and that's the most important thing. I want to know your thoughts. Have you ever been in a position that you have to prove who you are? Is there any of the 5 things that I mentioned you are struggling? Let me know in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Do not forget to subscribe, to like and share the video. See you in the next video. Bye.